Alright, everyone. Hello, everyone. Blaster here. Sorry about the technical issues. Oop, sorry. I was doing a sound check. Sorry about the technical issues. Uh, hopefully it's, yeah, still just having some technical issues. Um, Trying to think. Oh, first of all, some people might notice how all my previous streams were named Team Friendship, Contradiction, and then like the current sprint. Well, we have officially changed our team name into Biofly Interactive, which yeah, I like it. It's a fancy name. But yep, so kind of a cool little bit of news. We're also looking into a game name change, and we're making it. We currently have like two main names. It looks like we're choosing between. So hopefully, well, currently, Contradiction was never going to be the game's name. I'm going to be honest. This has been our project name, and I'll probably still refer to it by that occasionally. But, though I guess Contradiction doesn't hold anymore since we're no longer called Team Friendship. But, anyways, as soon as the name gets, either we're ready to, or we got a name chosen and we're ready to announce it, we also have some other news, which I'll bring up eventually, that's regarded towards stuff that the University of Utah is doing. They have a thing called Games Direct, and I'll get more information about that later. But it's going to be it's gonna be cool, I think. And we have some other. I'll announce some other news as it comes, but or as we are ready to announce it. Anyways, first of all, you might notice that we have a new model that I've not shown off before. We decided that we wanted a table model. So, oops. So, here is our table model that we're going to use for like a dining table. It's going to be, we're making, one of the rooms we're making is a ballroom. So yeah, the level designers are working on that, which I'm excited to see what it looks like, cause but one of them asked me to make this table. So we got that put in. It's not the fanciest. Uh, it definitely, but it's decent. We got little supports here. I noticed some of the tables have that. We have this like little the beams making sure it's like stays together or something like that. The legs, which were a little bit of a pain. I unfortunately, yeah, it wasn't urgent to stream that because I made this, I believe, Wednesday, or it might have been Wednesday or yesterday. I don't remember. I guess I could. It doesn't matter too much. But essentially, it was like way after when I would like normally start, and I had no clue like how long it would take. Like it could have gone like past midnight, and so I decided to just get this worked on. But here it is. Now you can see what it looks like. Um, yeah, the legs I kind of just made by I had like a cube, and then I extruded it out, kind of. Um, yeah, and then I beveled all of the edges to make it round. And then this, well, it's just a cylinder. I think the more complicated part was getting these two connected. But basically, what I did is I extended, because I had the cylinder, I extruded the two faces there out here. And then I kind of made that cut, and then I've blended them together by, yeah, doing some stuff. I think I like had to do some like separation or some weird things, which actually I just realized something. Well, first of all, Something that happened, one of my previous models had like a bunch of issues, so I'm gonna actually run mesh cleanup. Okay, we have some of these. You know, I've always get confused when I see these mesh. So which issue is this? So we're gonna do that. We definitely, so object select mesh. I think the thing I'm more worried about is the non-manifold geometry. I don't know if lamina faces are. Well, let's see. Let's not worry about these. I think for now. Apply or clean up. So is it? Wait. Why is it this? I just noticed the area that's having the issues shouldn't be having the issues. Okay, so it's got to be non-manifold, right? Mesh. I always get confused on what non-manifold means again. Clean up. But if it's non-manifold, wouldn't that be... Hmm. Let me... Well, let me set this back to my def... we can keep that like that. That way it's, I feel like that's not going to fix it, but we're gonna try. Object, mesh, cleanup. It does not. I'm not even sure what vertice got merged. I'm kind of concerned. We're gonna try doing this. And then we'll do cleanup, select matching. I'm like trying to see what's changing. Oh, you know what? Okay, mesh cleanup. We're gonna reset my cleanup because I did have it set up as the way I liked it before. Okay, and we know it's not manifold, so first of all, because I am no longer doing the UV editing, they have my teammates, or one of my, our texture, one of our texture guys, the one that I'm working with the most, has decided that he wants to do the UVs for the models, so. But I'm just gonna test this, because if this is the issue, then it's gonna be something that's like easily fixed. Create automatic. Okay, object, and then go here so I can actually, so yeah, mesh. You know? Yep, it was an issue with the UVs, that's fine. Alright, so I basically have no issues. I am curious though. Oh, I guess while I'm here I could check something I was curious about the table. 20th was when I did it. So yesterday. Alright. We are going to... I'm curious, one second. Unfortunately, it's past fixing because it's already been like used. It's already been textured, I think. But I'm curious. Mesh. Okay. Mesh. Clean up. And you know what? That is it looks like it might have to do with all right. Um. Hmm. Oh, you know what? I'm curious. Is this another issue of just like it needs that? No. What's going on? How much you bet that fixed it? Mesh. No, no, what? We had so many vertices get merged. What? Create automatic. Mesh. So if I do vertex. Ah. Okay, so faces. There's faces that shouldn't be there. Wait, no. So that means there's edges that shouldn't be there. Yeah. I thought I fixed that. Or I thought like when I made the cuts, yeah, it's fine. Um, it likely won't break anything, but that was I was suspecting that there was some hidden faces when I saw that there was being issues. Um, Here, give me a second. I'm gonna actually just let our texture artist know. Actually, while I'm doing that, we're gonna go to File, New Scene, because we are working on 2 new models, and we're gonna. I'll tell you what they are in a moment. Um, yeah, I'm very excited for you guys to see all these textures. Oh, so I need to make sure that I don't do that, especially when I'm like duplicating faces and such, because yeah, that does cause some issues for us. So I will be very aware of that in the future, I think. I'll try to be. Alright, what am I making? We are making a spotlight and a lever. I'm not quite sure what their scale needs to be, so I'm gonna make some rough estimations. I already have an idea for the lever, because I'm not exactly sure what they're being used for, but that's just something that I was asked to make. A lever, 25, that's really big. Let's do 20, place that on the base. 20, no, it doesn't need to be on the base, it's fine. Let's make the width 5. Sorry, no, I want the other dimension to be 5. Actually, something I'm going to do really quick, 1 second. I'm going to open a secondary Maya window. Here, we'll save this. File save scene as. Spotlight and lever. We're also likely going to be making a chandelier at some point, but I don't know if that'll be during this sprint or a different sprint. Well, it won't be during this sprint because it ends today, which actually means tomorrow or Saturday. Yeah, sorry, tomorrow or Sunday, so in a day or two, we will likely play through the build, and I'll be showing off the progress at the same time. But we are not doing that right now, so 1 second. I need to open scene. Door. This is something I wanted to look at. Was some of the measurements for the door. Ooh, the door texture looks really cool, by the way, as well. So this is what I want to measure. I want to just a general idea, because this is like what I imagine like a hand dimension would be. Five exactly. Okay. So what I want the lever grip to be is 5 centimeters, or around that. Wait, I'm curious. What about this dimension? Wow. I must have just, yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know, yeah. I like it when there's round numbers. Round numbers are my favorite. Alright, spotlight and lever. It's gonna be near the bottom of the file system. Understood. So we have this. So let's do, this is gonna be the casing for the lever. So the scale's gonna be 10. We'll make the. I'm thinking. Let's see. So we're gonna create a quick. Let's quick create the lever mechanism first, actually. So we're gonna assume 5. We can tweak things later on, but for now, 5. Next, we need the rotating mechanism. Okay, no, I know what mechanism I'm going for. Sorry, it's it's also going to be a lot simpler to make, but I think it's going to be a lot more interesting. So we're going to create we're going to create that sliding mechanism. I'm debating if I want to hollow out the box. You know, I might go for the spotlight first, and then so I'm going to ask about the... Alright, sorry, this is just because this is something that is... I'm honestly not certain about. I'm fine either way, but yeah, sure. Alright, so we'll get the lever set up. We'll create this part at least. I don't know what I just did. That was weird. Set attribute? No, I don't think that was what I did. Alright, so we have a 5. Let's go. In the meantime, what I am gonna do is I do know I want the lever. I have some ideas for the lever casing actually. And then what we need some center lines. So this is a 5, this is 10, I believe, right? 10, yes. Okay, so I would like... Oh, and then we'll do that, which is 5, so this is 2.5. We'll get these cuts in, so that's gonna be where the lever is. We're gonna put in, we might clean up or remove some cuts afterwards. And then I think what we could do is we can just quickly select this. Oh, sorry. Alright, sorry, I just got messaged back by my texture artist, or by the texture artist, and I don't know why I keep saying my. But, cause, yeah, and he's like, yeah, he kind of suspected that, which, yeah, makes sense. Alright, 20, so let's go with the casing, so we have, if this was 5, this is now 2.5. So we want this to be right there, 25%. Yeah, that's decent. Okay. I did not intend to make these all into squares, but sorry. Yeah, I just need to make sure I'm more careful. Yeah, but yeah, there's all sorts of issues like that can pop up if you're not careful enough. I wonder, one second, I have a better idea than what I was about to do. So we're gonna do this. Because I wanted to have these hard edges. And then next what we're going to do is merge the vertices, because that would have been probably... Ooh, actually, would I... One second. I'm curious, because this also could be the case of the... How many faces was there that before? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... So we had 4 times 4, so 16. Okay, it looks like I did it right. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. One of our models was over 2 million polys. Yep, that definitely must have been made in ZBrush. Okay, something I want to check, because I am a little paranoid now. We're gonna do cleanup. Okay, so beveling doesn't seem to have been like the issue. I just wanted to double check. How does this look? Am I happy with this? Maybe 0.4? Oh, I probably should have beveled these. Not beveled. I should have hardened these edges before I did that. Mesh display. Harden edge. There we go. I'm actually kind of happy with that. So this will slide from like there to there. Oh no. Oh no. ZBrush is a powerful program. It is a very, very powerful program, but it is very poly heavy. Oh, I was for one of my classes we had to make a knife and a hydrant in ZBrush. The hydrant was nice, by the way, in ZBrush. It wasn't too bad. I'm not a fan of ZBrush. Honestly, I despise it. But honestly, making the hydrant wasn't too bad. The knife, on the other hand, was the devil. Um, but each of them were in the millions of polys, if I remember correctly. They're taking up so much space. Like I think like the fire hydrants files were like in the gigabytes, and I need to make sure like go back and figure out which ones I can delete. Or either that, or I just need to get like a USB that I can push all my class files off of, because that would save me like so much space if I could like get rid of all of the files from my classes and save them onto like a file. Because I like keeping things for posterity. I like keeping the different historical changes. Um, I forgot to number this. We'll call this 002 because technically that one was 001. I'll rename it later, but we're not, I'm not going to do that on stream. That's not necessary. Oh! Wait, I have an idea. Let's see. I'm actually thinking of having this be... Alright. Alright, so we'll talk about the casing again. Deciding whether to hollow it or not. I'm leaning towards it shouldn't be hollowed, and it should be done in texture, but I want to make sure that I'm not like making this decision alone. Try it. Okay. And then I'm making sure to specifically tag texture, since he's gonna have to deal with it if that is what the decision is. And I don't want to like put something on him like if yeah, because I think it'll work better in texture, partially because that allows for like different things to be shown. I feel like um, and so I'm gonna make this. I'll start first of all. I'm gonna make this slightly smaller. Also, I'm thinking of shrinking this down. I think I made it too big. I'm gonna do a rough shrinking and then I'll do a more exact. So, wrong dimensions. So this is also, if you're wondering why I shrunk it down, I wanted it to be able to like have that little bit of clearance. It wouldn't be perfectly snug anyways. I think I'm gonna do this low poly lever. So it's like a little, like, I guess it's more of a switch than a lever, so yeah. So let's do like 15. If we scooch this side to side. I do like that better, actually. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, we're going to, in order to get it exact, I'm just going to, well, exact enough. There's likely going to be problems, as there always is. We're going to take these faces, basically everything except for these center faces, because they're going to be the ones shrunken. And then we're going to turn on symmetry, object. I think this is the Z, correct? Hey, I got it right. Okay. So do that, and then we can snap it in like that. And there's our solution. Because then, if we add some little center cuts for the lever, so let's go like right there. Ooh, perfect. Actually, that's a really good idea to put those center cuts in. You can see it has like 2 positions. Yes. I'm actually kind of happy with this. This isn't a really complicated model. I think what I am going to do is I'm going to slightly change this up. Because first of all, this is like a massive chunk, so let's go 4.5. Make it maybe like considerably smaller, actually. Maybe like 4. So it's got quite a bit of clearance. I think what I'll do is we'll actually... No, we're gonna undo what I just did. No, that's not what I meant to do. 2. So we'll stick this in a little bit. Actually, what we'll do is we're gonna cut this in half and slide it in that way. Perfect. And then what I'm gonna do is we're gonna get, so I can get an exactly, no, it doesn't need to be perfect, actually. That is, okay, I found something else. There's not a lot that I like about ZBrush, but I'm slowly finding out more things that I do. And one of it is symmetry is object specific. So let's get it roughly there. We're gonna go kind of like a little like that. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, bevel it a little bit, just so we can ease it out. What would happen if I hardened this edge? Mesh, add mesh. Mesh display. Why can't I find... Even though I hope no one's watching the stream. Oh no, someone is. Oh no. Oh. Okay. Yeah. I was looking at edit mesh instead of mesh display. That's... we're all human. It's fine. It's fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's see. Actually, do I want to make this a slight bevel? Let's check it out with 0.2. Okay. So this is a very, very slight bevel. Ooh! That's who's watching. Hi! Alright, how does that look? No, I preferred it when it was a hard edge, actually. So we got our lever. That is our... something about it seems off. Alright, bevel. Is it this? Span. Okay. Object. Let's try this out, and then we do like a small easing. It doesn't need to be a big one. How's that look? Oh, why are those edges soft? I wanted those hard. Yeah, that seems to work. Alright, there's our... We'll see what they think about the lever. It's definitely not a very complicated lever. It's... Hello? I'm having difficulties, apparently. There we go. It wasn't deleting. So I will... What we're going to do is we're going to do a save. Save scene as... 3, save as... Push that off to the side. We'll do some cleaning. Oh, actually what we will do is... we don't need these bottom faces. I do want these other faces here because I want to make sure that it can be like moved up or down if needed. But those bottom faces, in theory, should never be... oh. Alright, sorry. I'm like... there... yeah. Alright. So we got that part done. Now we need to make the spotlight. And we will see if this is going to be done. Well, we might come back to this again later. So for now, let's save scene. Scooch this off to the side. And spotlight. How do I want to do the spotlight to make it magical seeming? Because, I mean... when was electricity, or when was the light bulb invented? 1 second. We're gonna do a little research trip. When was the light bulb invented? That's not how you spell invented. There we go. 1879. I'm thinking of 19th century. This technically could have existed, because that is 19th century. I don't know what year in the 19th century. Also, technically, I don't think this is taking place on Earth. I don't know the whole details there, like, of what we... but I'm just using 19th century as a reference. But yeah, anyways. So this is going to be quite a bit bigger, I imagine. Well, maybe not quite a bit, but they also can scale it up if they need to. So right now, we're gonna make it cylindrical. Sorry, I don't know why I was doing a cube. I'm thinking because one of my teammates mentioned about having crystal for like the light source or something, and using that in place of it. But it seems like they still wanted this made. So, but what I'm thinking is I'll combine the ideas of a spotlight and the whatchamacallit, a crystal. All right, first of all, how are we gonna have this hanging? That's gonna be the tricky part, is getting this hanging, I think. Um, oh, you know what? That's an easy solution. Here, okay, so we'll get some cubes. Actually, we're gonna try something with the, because it looks like it's gonna. Because I had an idea. So spotlight is going to be put to the side. Well, I guess I'll show, but basically, all I was thinking is we can attach it to the sides like this. We don't need to have like, because initially I was like thinking, oh, we could have like a little pivot thing, like arcing across the top. But that is not an easy thing to get attached in. It's going to be a lot easier if I just have like some sidebars going on that are connecting it that way. So that's what we're going to do with that. But for the moment, we're going to open my one thing on accident. For the moment, what we're going to do is we're going to ignore that. We're going to... Well, first of all, why is this not... Okay, there we go. Now it's centered. Because I actually do have an idea on how to do this. My biggest concern is making sure it doesn't poke out the sides. Which might require me to give this more of a buffer than I have. Okay. So I want to keep this faces. I might need to remake this if I need to, because I don't know how easy it's going to be to like maneuver the buffer, because what I want to do is I'm going to take these, we're going to extrude them in a little bit, and then we're just going to delete that. It doesn't exist. And what I want to do is then take this cube, and this is going to be what we use to fill the space. Which actually, no, we don't need a cube. We could just do isolate. 1 second. Let's get a plane. We'll do a plane. There we go. Then we make it 5s all around since, yeah. And then we need the Z to be 15, I believe. Boom. There's our thing. We just need to remove the subdivisions. I think we just need 2. Yes, 2. And then this other subdivision's pretty... So we'll go... Actually, what we'll do is... Alright. Object. We're gonna make this slightly wider. Just need to make sure it doesn't poke out. So let's do... And then we need 4 subdivisions actually. So that way what we can do is we can delete these faces. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to duplicate this because I want it to have it as a reference. But otherwise we don't need it. And then now I just need to combine these two. Mesh 5. We also might make this slightly wider, the thing. Okay. Ever so slightly. Which also does mean that this is going to need to be expanded most. Because in theory, this is like the minimum I need, because this is then... It kind of snaps to the sides. Which also means that we need to just make sure that this has a bigger buffer. Okay, that's not too hard. I think the main concern I had was just, yeah, but I think all I have to do is really this. Let's get we'll make it, come on, cube reference, be my friend. So this is currently 15 if I remember correctly. No, it's, oh, cause yeah, I shrunk it down by a specific, yeah, so it's 15. What we need is it to be 20, I believe. Wrong direction. 20. That is like the bare minimum. But it should be slightly bigger so we can have a little bit of space to work with. Or, yeah. So let's do 22.5. And then this needs to be 12.5, I believe, because it's currently... This is going to make it look goofy, isn't it? Okay, we can adjust things if needed. Sure, we'll obviously. Let's first try out this. And then yeah, this hides out pretty nicely. If I scooch it, or if I scooch it a little bit, you can see it will probably poke out right there. But that's a decent amount of clearance. I can also, that means I can expand it as well, so we have a little bit of clearance that way as well. Or expand the plane. Actually, maybe I just do 22. Well, no. Patience, Blaze, patience. Alright. So grab these. Do what I did before. You know what I'm gonna do? So I think I'm fine with them being slightly different, but I do want them to be a little bit more. Yeah, so let's try 15. We'll see how that looks to me. Okay, no, I'm fine with, I am relatively okay with that. Oh, 1 second. Make sure that we're snapping to the right place. I'm actually I'm rather happy with that. I will say I'm not very happy with this this edge here now. I'm starting to dislike it more and more. I wonder if I mesh display harden edge. How does that look? I almost prefer that. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do next is I just want to give this a small bit of like breathing room. Just a tad. It doesn't need to be much. But that way it's like fully embedded. We'll take a little screenshot. Here, let me send this in to my team so that way they can give me feedback and then we'll get on the spotlight. Which also means we're going to be putting you on display capture. Oh, whoa. Oh, I got some. Okay, I didn't notice that. Alright. Uh, okay, let me see if I can. Let's figure that out. Alright, so we got this. We're gonna save again, file save scene as. And then I'm probably gonna briefly have to troubleshoot. We're on like our last like I said earlier in the stream, today is like the day we have to submit it. So I'm trying to make sure that I'm as helpful as I possibly can be. So that way everyone's able to get what they can do. So oh, let me switch this back to this play capture. I'll just respond to that one. Okay. Discord. I'm surprised I didn't notice that. I didn't get that message. I'm almost wondering. Alright. Let's see. Oh wait, I just realized something. Okay. That's probably why I'm not getting messages. Because I have them, that window open. Okay. So we have our lever. Let's see, spotlight. This doesn't mean I kind of want to make the spotlight bigger because this is rather big. I mean, it's almost like it's like almost a foot. I think it's gonna have to be shrunk down heavily. I think this is not gonna be to scale. But I'm not quite sure what scale is best. I think 25 is probably a good one for that, because that's about a foot for a spotlight. I think that's fine. So what I'm going to do, we're going to bevel this. I want this to be a rounded top. Alright. Alright, sorry. I've got like multiple things going on at once. Let's go object. No, maybe it doesn't need to be exactly. So let's go like this, do 0. Actually 0.5 is exactly what I was thinking. Then we take this, mesh display, soften edge. Or do I round that a little more? I don't think it needs to be too round. I think I also want to make this face slightly bigger. So it kind of hoofs out a little bit. We'll then go face, scrunch this in, scrunch this up. I'm not... Okay, how do I want this spotlight to look? Oh, I said I wanted the crystal. I wonder if there's a... Alrighty, I think I want to add in like a or let's see. So let's get a cube, not a cube, let's get a cylinder. Cylinder, bring it down. Oh, we need to smooth those edges. I'm probably gonna make this spotlight a little fancier after I get like the basic stuff in. Mesh, display, soften edge. Which also means I probably shouldn't worry about smoothing like that right now, but... Okay, this one I want to be 8. Alright, so I'm gonna, let's see, shrink this down. We're gonna bevel this, so this is actually gonna be a completely unique gem from the ones I've made previously. Bevel. Let's get that beveled in. At least in theory, I think it's completely unique. I can't remember exactly. Maybe don't quote me on that. Let's actually just bevel this for now. I think we'll leave these top ones. So then what I could do is I can expand this to make it somewhat fit. We'll have it stick it out. Let's expand it a little more. Actually, wait a second. I'm trying to think. I actually kind of like that sticking out like that. 1 second. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like that. Okay, where's those faces that I had? That one's up here. I'm thinking we make use of this as like a little backdrop, and that could be like put in with like the shadow. It'll likely also be like lit up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. What happens if would it be a bad idea to like poke this out and then like harden some of these edges? I'm gonna test this out. This might be a totally bad idea. Mesh display, harden edge. Something about that looks wrong. Oh no. Alright, we're gonna try this. This actually might not take as long as I was thinking this would take a while. I'll see what ooh, okay, so what I think I'll do is I do want to add some fanciness in. Currently it's not very fancy, so we'll do that. We're gonna go, we're also gonna put like a protective edge like right about here. How does that look? That hasn't messed up the smoothing too much, has it? Okay, good. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna push these in slightly. I think that helps out a bit. I almost want them bigger. Or what if I do this? One. And then we like do, no, that's not. Let's try that. What I could also do is take these edges and push them down slightly. Or maybe up slightly? Okay, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to soften it on the inside, but on the outside, we're going to keep it hard edge like that. Yeah. Then we have this. Yes, well, autosave. Ooh, no, sorry, I just realized something I need to fix. That vertex needs to be planar. Wait, actually, sorry. Do I like it better? Not. Wait a second. Okay, not that far out. Just a tad bit more. I don't know if I like that or not. I'm leaning towards not, actually. Okay. It temporarily looked like something kind of cool, but it was lost on me. I think one thing I do want to do is actually get these smaller, so that way, and that also makes it so these edges are not a perfect right angle. What's happening here? Something's not functioning. What? What? Wait, what? I don't get it. Okay, so why can I do the one, but I can't do the other? Okay, that's weird. Okay, so we'll shrink it this way. Not that much. Right about there, I think. Something about that looks nicer. It needs to be further out, I think. We really need to like pushing. And then I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna actually get this um pushed in slightly. We're not gonna do as like much, I think. But I think that helps a bit. I wonder if I need to like expand sideways a little bit. Okay. I don't know. Do any of you guys think it looks okay? Or does it look bad? Am I wrong? Alright. Well, in the meantime, I'm gonna get the sides added in. I think what I need to do is... Okay, I've got a plan. It's fine. I think we're gonna do 2.5 by 2.5. We need to rotate it slightly. And then we're gonna connect it kind of like right about here-ish, I think. Okay. Or do I want it rotated? That might not be a good idea. I don't know if it looks very mystical at all. I don't know. It's kind of hard to make a spotlight look mystical, I feel like. I mean, I'm sure there's ways that I'm just not thinking about, but one second. I decided I want this slightly pushed out. Is that enough? Maybe I need to push this in a little bit? Yeah. I want that one part a little thicker. Oh, sweet. Thank you. Okay, that's good. I think we'll do... Okay, let's... I'm thinking we put it here. Right about-ish. Let's go 20. And I do want it partially floating off. I think we need to make it slightly more X. No, slightly more Z. Wait, where am I putting this cube? On the right side, okay. Actually, yeah, I'm realizing that I'm some stuff. Okay, so we're gonna bring it a little closer. Ooh! Wait. Let me try something. Uh, 30, 30. We'll make this 5. No, 3. Better. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna highlight this all. We're then gonna unhighlight just the center part, which should hopefully work. Yes. And then we're gonna extrude this in right about here. Can I just do an actual extrusion? Let's do that. Offset. Let's do offset 2. 1.5. And then we're gonna delete those. And then we need to somehow find the correct edge. Bridge. Okay, grab all that. Manage to deselect those because they're in a weird spot. And then we're gonna bridge all those. We also need to make sure that they're softened because, yeah. Mesh. Oh, wait. Mesh display, soften edge. Nope, that was the wrong one. Soften edge, there we go. Okay, maybe bring this up a little bit. Something about this. And then what I'll do is we're gonna add in small cylinders. I don't think I'm gonna combine them directly, but we're gonna. Here, one second. I'm gonna isolate this ring. We'll delete that temporarily. So isolate the ring, small cylinder. So what I want to do is I want to actually connect those brackets to the one thing. There we go. And then we do that. Let's make sure that we have just enough. This also doesn't need to be so high poly. Let's do 8, and then we'll just soften edge. It's small enough that you won't notice if it's not like perfectly round. And also in its position, it's also in a position where it's not very noticeable that it's not round. That's something I kind of will recommend, is if you're doing modeling like this, it's like you're less likely to notice things being round at smaller scales. At least that's how I experience it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just me that doesn't notice that, but do I even need? I only need that. Okay, perfect. So let's select those, isolate them. We're gonna then delete these faces. Delete. And oh, you know what? I can just make this a tube. We don't need the faces at all because they're both stuck inside things. And then what we'll do is isolate these, duplicate, snap it to position, rotate it, duplicate, snap it to position, rotate. Sure. Duplicate, snap its position, rotate. And you know what I'm gonna do? We're going to add an extra set of these. So we're gonna go boom, boom, boom. Combine. Nope, I just did Boolean. Combine. Control D. Rotate. Perfect. And then there's our little. And then what I will do is I will soften. I will not soften. I will bevel these edges. How does that look? I think I almost want to. Let me try something. Is this a bad idea? Let's see. Bevel. I think I'm onto something, but I don't think I'm doing it right. So let's try this, bevel that. We'll do this. Maybe we'll segment it right here. Okay, and then in theory we have 32 faces we should lose, if I've done this correctly. So 208 goes down to 176, which is minus 32. Okay. I want to make sure I don't get the one geometry. And then what I want to try doing is, well, first of all, these edges I want it hard. I don't, those weren't the ones that, or no, I wanted these ones softened. The ones I kind of am thinking of having hard are these. Mesh display, hard edge. Okay, we're just gonna see what it looks like from this side. What does it look like normal? We'll do it that way. I'm wondering. Maybe like that? Okay. So now all we need to do is manage to attach this. I think we don't need it as wide now that I have this. We are then going to bevel these edges. Bevel. Sorry. I want them to be like that. Object. Merge vertices. Well then. Oh wait, no. I keep forgetting that I can just go. Not that. That is less than ideal. I could do this. Because I want it to be rounded. Object, merge vertices, we lose one face, correct? Good. Cut along there. I think we'll also add a that, which I probably should have done before I did the beveling, but that's okay. I think I also do want this to be extra long. Because I don't, or this, I do want it to go a little bit higher up, I think. That way it could be like stuck into the ceiling. It doesn't need to be like perfectly put, but... Oh, it messed up my thing. Yeah, we're gonna add a bevel right here as well. That way I could snap stuff to the outside there easier. And then all I need to do is soften these edges because they're not actually softened. What I need is a cylinder. And we're just gonna... Can I just remove the caps with this? Is there a way to like have it just be a tube? I could do that. That kind of works, and then I can delete it easier than... No. Yeah, it looks like I have to manually delete it, but I think setting that to 0, you know, because then it's only like one face I have to delete. Oh, height baseline. I think we'll actually merge this in, so it's not going to just be free floating like this one is, but... First, I do want to scale it up. Let's try 2. I think 2 is perfect. Yeah, Yeah, it's perfect. It's no, it's not perfect, but it's I'm happy with it. Okay, so then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna cut off right about here. I don't think we're gonna make it um exact, but and then what I can do, because that gives me 8 edges, is we can delete those, and then we should just be able to stitch them together. And I think I might actually do a small softening. Oh. Yeah. There we go. Then we just need to do mesh mirror correctly. I think it needs to be set at world because I swapped it to object for a specific thing I was working on. So now it's world, and then we need to do X, I believe. Oh, and we're mirroring in the positive direction because I accidentally made this on the wrong side. We are mirroring it in the negative direction because I made it on the right side. I briefly got my lefts and rights mixed up or something, or I got my positive directions mixed up. I was thinking that. Yeah. Alrighty. Um, this might have actually just been like a really quick stream. I think I'm gonna send this to my team and see what they think. No, never mind. I'm not done. Sorry. I forgot that I need to merge stuff. Okay, file. Let's save scene as, so we have everything before it's merged. Okay, 1 second. So one thing I need to make sure is merged is these 2 sections. Combine. Yeah, we can combine them now. Okay. Also, we need to make sure that there's no issues. Okay, happy days. Next, we have this, which is separate. Let's delete history. We can also delete history here. And delete, well, let's move them to center first before we delete history on those. I'm tempted to have them as separate models. That way this can be rotated. I see. And then we're gonna snap this to right there. Freeze transformations. Next, we need to make sure that this one, well, ideally it would be centered, so we're gonna just snap it that way, because that should be center. Put it right there. So if I rotate this, it rotates on the circles. And then we can move this to center. And now this rotates on this. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this a separate... I'm going to have these be separate objects. And that way they can be exported separately. I think that also might need to be what I do with this switch. And then that way they can be put together in a blueprint and exported that way. Yeah, that's what I need to do. Okay. I think we can get rid of these. They don't need to be there. If I need to put them back in, then I'll take care of that. So let's do some mesh cleanups, make sure that everything's not popping up errors like with the pillars, because that was, yeah, kind of embarrassing. I don't know how, I'm gonna keep these faces here. They probably don't need to be here. Here's one question I actually have. Do I bevel this? Do I make it a soft edge? Well, first of all, that's... Okay, it can't be beveled like that. It would have to be like this. There we go. I'm reasonably happy with all this. Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna move this to center for now. So, file, spotlight, arms, spotlight, light. We can then take both of these, delete history and freeze transformations. Hide those. We're then going to, gosh, I definitely need to figure that out. So then we're going to take this, move this back to center, delete history, freeze transformations, and this is going to be switch knob, I guess. And then we have this, which is switch casing. Switch casing. Okay, these are all the objects we need to export, so we can bring them all back. Cool scripts, quick export. And now I think I am done. And then I'll let them know that these have been made separate, because I think this is in the blue, or yeah. I'll probably set up a blueprint myself. Well, I'll ask them if they want me to set up a blueprint on my own myself. Basically, all I'll do is just drag them together, and then nothing too exciting, because they're basically already in position. They all just need to be zeroed out, and also I think like their center pivots need to be. They do need to share a center pivot actually, so that is something I made a mistake on. So let's go D. Okay, that one's centered. It was centered. Okay, this, and then this needs to be centered. That way they can be combined easily. So mesh. Now I can delete history, freeze transformations, and re-export them. Yes, we want to overwrite both of them. Alright. Thank you for those who came to the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will, like I said previously at the beginning of the stream, I will likely be streaming again on Friday or Saturday. I do not know, sorry, no, on Saturday or Sunday. I do not know which day I plan to do yet or what time. I will I'll post a message um, on YouTube. There'll be a message there saying. And also, I'm very excited. I like our new name change from Team Friendship to Biofly Interactive. And I'm very excited to see what name we choose, and I'm excited for you guys to see which name we choose, because we have 3 fairly good contenders for names, which so far it looks like it's only between 2 of them, because one of them's like gotten 0 votes, but still, I think all 3 are, or whichever name we choose is going to be a good one. And, I'll talk to you guys later.